Breaking news from LA Rams Central right here. So, just so you guys know, this is not the show. The show will be posted tomorrow at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, whenever I can get it uploaded officially onto YouTube. But just so you know, I filmed it on a Wednesday. So this news broke after the filming of the show, which is fitting. And what's the breaking news? No competition in Los Angeles. It's just the Rams, baby. The Chargers are staying put. And I recommend the same thing I do in the show, that the Raiders keep their silver and black rear ends in Oakland, because they ain't going to be welcome either. But here's the breaking news. So Spanos, who said, by the way, and I mentioned this in the video, he had no use for Stan Kroenke, which was great, because Stan really had no use for Spanos, except maybe to pay a couple of electric bills and things like that from what he was going to charge him to use our stadium. See, Dean Spanos, I've grown a genuine distaste for. Everyone says he's a great guy and he's as good, and he's an old timer, and you know what? Stan Kroenke doesn't have a use for him either. You don't have a use for him, he doesn't have a use for you. And to be honest with you, I really didn't like the attitude and the mentality of, well, I'm going to build this half-hearted stadium just to keep the Rams out of LA because it's competition for my fan base. Yeah, we all knew that's what was going down, and we're just glad that the NFL took a bigger picture look at the thing instead of going, we got to protect our corporate man in Dean Spanos and make sure the guy that's played ball gets ball played back with him. Well, we stuck that ball right up his rear end because the Rams are coming back to LA, and he saw the writing on the wall, folks. And I'll go into what that writing is in a minute. Here's his statement, and then I'll tell you what really happened. His statement. Today, I decided our team will stay in San Diego for the 2016 season. I hope for the long term in a new stadium. I've met with Mayor Kevin Falkor and Supervisor Dave Roberts, and I look forward to working closely with them and the business community to resolve our stadium dilemma. We have an option and an agreement with the Los Angeles Rams to go to Inglewood in the next year, but my focus is to stay in San Diego. He has no choice but to stay in San Diego. I mentioned this on the show, and I meant it then, and I mean it now. Number one, there were 3 reasons why they can't go to LA. They don't want to tell you this, but there's 3 reasons. Number one, and this is probably one of the more fundamental reasons, okay? And that is, they were going to lose 40% of their fan base if they went to LA. 40% of the Charger fan base was going to go, no mas, I don't want anything to do with you. And I would argue, if not all 40%, certainly 30%, or aka 90 of that 40, would end up becoming LA Ram fans just to spite the San Diego Chargers. That's one. Number two, party. Number two, okay, and this is big. I don't think they had a place to stay until the very end. Now, I found out yesterday, and again, I filmed on Wednesday, okay, that the Rams, former Ram, Pat Hayden, who's the athletic director at the LA Coliseum and the USC Trojans, went ahead and said that that's where the Chargers are going to play. So they were going to split the stadium in the LA Coliseum. I believe that had to do with the politicking the night that the decision was made. In other words, I think the Rams were told, you better tell your buddy Pat, somebody else playing there too. It can't just be you, like Pat Hayden had indicated. And that kind of opened the door for Spanos to go. But a part of number two is he had no place to practice. Where was he going to practice? You going to practice at the LA Coliseum, where Ram players could just check it out, see what's going on, right? Ram owners were Ram admitted no, they weren't going to practice in a stadium that unprotected, and certainly a facility that old. And what about the Trojans? If the Trojans got to practice and they can't do that. Were they going to practice in their facility in San Diego and drive to LA? I guess that was an option, but then you're going to have to deal with the upset fans in San Diego anyway. So that didn't make sense. It wasn't practical. And number three, and this I think is the biggest thing, okay? Number three was simply the fact that they had no support. They had no support. It's LA Ram country. Sorry, go to San Diego where you belong. You're not coming here. So they had the option to come, and they still do, I'm assuming, based on that statement. It sounds like they've somewhat committed to the Rams that the stadium deal doesn't work, but this gives them a chance to prove to the San Diego people, hey, we really want to stay, help us out, and make the Charger fans decide. But there's no fan support. and you're going to give the Rams an entire year to build a fan base, good luck. You aren't getting them. So I believe this, that the Rams made it very clear from day one, you're not coming here. And if you do, you're going to be second rate because the Rams are top dogs. And I think that was just the bottom line. So I had to break this today, and I'm going to post it today on YouTube. I'm also going to put this on Facebook because, guys, again, I aired the show or filmed the show on Wednesday. So the fact that this news broke on Friday, all the more reason to watch the third episode, right? Because I talk about this. I genuinely didn't believe the Chargers were going to LA anyway. And I still don't. And I don't think the Raiders are either. But watch the show because it's great, because I have little video snip clips of people talking and kind of what I think and what they think. And it's a really good episode. But this isn't to plug that. This is just simply breaking news. So once again, no Chargers in LA. It's all LA Rams and nobody else for 2016. Breaking news from LA Rams Central.